Welcome to Grumpy Old Avatars with your hosts, Mal Ventilator, Deucer Dragonash, and Slim Warrior.
Well, hello everybody, and it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are. I'm Mal Burns, and this is the Grumpy Old Avatars show, the end of the week wind down, where we let our hair down if we've got any, and generally moan and groan about everything that's been going on in the week, and anything we really fancy, or any hints we get from our in-world audience here in Second Life. As usual, I'm joined by my two wonderful co-hosts. Firstly, we have Deucer Dragonash. Hi there, Deucer.
Hello, Mal.
Now, you know, the way we start this show, they all just sound so grumpy, even before we started, so it's absolutely perfect. On the other side, I've got Slim Warrior. Hiya, Slimmy.
Hello.
You know, they've been chattering away like mad here before we came on air, and now what do we get? We get the hello. Okay, well, we'll see. Well, they'll lighten up a bit later, I'm sure. Anyway, we have we have two wonderful guests with us tonight. I'm not sure in which order to introduce them. Let me go first with we have somebody who's I guess well, she's on another broadcast network too, but she's active, shall we say, in the world of fashion and various other things, and that's Angie Mornington. Hi, Angie.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me. Hello, guys and dolls. I'm here.
Right.
Ready to be grumpy.
Ready to be grumpy. That's what I want to hear. And finally, we have another special guest. His name will be familiar to many of you. He is a rather successful Second Life entrepreneur. In fact, he could be called the king of certain types of virtual goods. And it's Stroker Serpentine. Welcome, Stroker.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, but when the guests start sounding grumpy too, I know it's either incredibly boring time or wonderfully good time.
There are people using his products right now, so they may not even be watching the show. So
hopefully they're not. They are
using
it.
Or worse still, they might be watching the show.
They could be watching the show while using the product, which would be ideal.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we could probably discuss some type of incorporation or cooperation where we could put a viewer right at the base of a bed or something.
Yeah.
And have it permanently tuned to grumpy old avatars.
Yeah, but we need new TV screens, so, you know, we can work on that where we have a TV screen that you can actually attach to the bed.
Well, actually, I was watching a real world television commercial here in the UK some time back. I think it was a sale.
They have television in the UK.
Yeah, they still have it.
Yeah, we have to wind it up, like the Met.
Like a good old
like the orange hot water.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not here.
It was a furniture showroom sale or something, and you know, they were showing off their beds, and one of them, you know, you actually got into the bed, you pressed the remote control, and what seemed to be a normal bed, at the base of the bed, the TV screen sort of popped up into the air and became a wall at the end of your bed. So yeah, there's probably a market for a bed.
I've got a great byline for that, actually, for women who are a bit bored when they have sex. Instead of saying, why don't you lie back and think of England, you could just say, lie back and watch telly.
Yeah.
Just watch over his shoulder. I had a friend who was having a very clandestine hotel assignation with a married gentleman in real life. And I think, I don't know whether it was Grumpy Old Avatars or what it was, but she had the television on and she heard a voice in the middle of her orgasm, and it was me.
Oh,
wow.
So it was like having her best friend in the room.
Oh.
And it completely ruined her weekend.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, I guess the TV beats the mirror, doesn't it? And the ladies can insist there's girls on top and see the TV properly.
Well, see, I've never used any. I am a virtual cyber virgin. I've never used any of Storker's products or any X-rated products. I did, however, my very own little plot of land ended up being next door to someone who created sex furniture. So that was my first introduction to it. And one day I saw some really weird movement going on in their backyard, and I zoomed in. I was like, "Oh, they make that too here. Great." But that was my first experience. I was like, "Yeah, well, they pretty much make everything in Second Life."
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Grumpy about is people doing the cyber naughty in your neighboring plot.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but it was just that was the first time I'd ever seen it.
I think what would make me really grumpy actually is if I had a next door neighbour that was really noisy. About a Second Life, I don't care about that because you can just switch sounds off or just ignore it. But when it's in real life and it's next door, oh no, actually the worst is when people can't even wait to get home, so they just stand at a bus stop
and do it.
Well, more or less, yes.
It was mine
Almost.
last week where you are.
Yeah, but that's here in Denmark, and I don't have a next door neighbour.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know what they would do.
So it's an excuse to keep warm.
It is. So I want to know, actually, Straker, what annoys you about Second Life in particular? I'm dying to know.
Wait, how long is this program? What's the time?
We've got time.
I want to hear, I want to hear some really good stuff about things that annoy you. Because obviously you've been in Second Life.
Well, I tell you what. How about I give you guys a scoop?
Oh yeah.
We settled the lawsuit with Linden Lab, settled amicably and reasonably, and we're anticipating a concerted effort on Linden's behalf going forward towards content protection and the rights of content creators, and at least being aware of the fact that there is a lot of content theft going on out there. So, scooped you on that one.
So you're not exactly grumpy about that, then, are you?
I'm not exactly grumpy about that. I was grumpy about it to begin with, and I'm not grumpy anymore.
For a while.
That went on for like 20 years, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like at least a couple of decades, it seemed like. But no, it's about a year and a half now, and glad that's behind us. Looking forward to the new CEO. Looking forward
me
to
too,
Mesh.
actually.
Looking forward to seeing the potential of Second Life flourish, because the press, all the press and the Illuminati attention of 2006 through 2008 was terrible for Second Life, because it kind of plasticized us in a moment in time, and Second Life is continually changing, continually growing, continually metamorphosizing into this chaotic network. And unfortunately, everyone now looks back at those press releases and those images in the press and says, "Oh well, that was Second Life. That was their impression of Second Life then," and they use that as a frame of reference today. And it's ironic, because I see more and more people now coming back into Second Life after being away for a while, saying, "Oh wow, this is a lot of fun. I remember this is a lot of fun," and so can't be grumpy about that. But I can be grumpy about the avatar. I hate this fucking avatar. We can manipulate the textures, we can manipulate the sounds, we can manipulate the animations, we can manipulate the land, we can manipulate the sky, we can manipulate anything in Second Life but the freaking avatar. And it is a pet peeve of mine. I am sick of swamp ass. I am sick of animations that wouldn't necessarily be physically possible because of the skeletal rig we have. So give us the damn avatar mesh, Linden Lab. I want it now.
Although you have to admit, in some way, they're a lot better than like when we were noobs. And the avatars, if you compare back to them now, they were pretty
well, I'm talking about what I'm talking about though, Slim, is the base avatar, the weighted mesh on the skeletal rig. I mean, just about any other platform you can think of that you can name, you can divorce that skeleton from the avatar mesh in a peripheral program, and then re-upload it. But not in Second Life. I don't know why. I'm sure it has to do with breaking content. But one good look at a stripper will a stripper's crotch will show you how inadequate the mesh is in Second Life.
You're going to say a scripter's crotch then. I was going to say,
right, do you have to have a picture?
Look at a scripter's crotch. And you come to the same conclusion.
I'm sure if you put that on a PowerPoint presentation and show that to the Lindens, maybe we can
never going to trust a scripter again now.
I think we're going to find meshes coming, in fact. But actually, Slimmy was there when we met with Philip Rosedale, in fact, and he did say that there are fixed points. That is something that will never change about Second Life. There's just fixed points on the avatars, and you have to work with them. But mesh, of course, imports will allow for very, very flexible avatars indeed. So we look forward to that. Now, Stimmy, did we have an actual subject on lined up tonight?
I did, but sadly it was only for me, things that have annoyed me this week, because I sat next to somebody on the way back from London. I stopped at a roadside thing, where you stop and have a cup of coffee and go to the bathroom. And I sat next to somebody who insisted on slurping the very last drop of their drink through a straw in their cup. And it's so annoying because they didn't stop. Because they fill the paper cup with like 2/3 of ice, and then you get 1/3 of the actual drink. So they obviously finished the drink, but there was a drip of water every time the ice was melting. And they sat there literally for about 10 minutes slurping this bloody drink. So it's got nothing to do with being online, but that was my subject for the week. That really irritates me. People that do that sort of thing in public, I think that really they should be banned or ejected from restaurants. Oh. Yes, people that slurp their drinks.
People that slurp.
You understand?
Make a noise in your
environment. We do it intentionally. You understand?
Well, yeah, just like the people in Second Life who deliberately let off the sounds.
Exactly.
To stop the conversation.
But don't you find it irritating when you go to a restaurant and people don't necessarily have good manners, and they do make all manner of odd sounds and noises that actually invade your privacy at the table that you're sitting at, to the point where actually it's driving you completely nuts.
I had it tonight. I'm on a train coming back to London, and I'm in the quietest spot in the train because I'm reading, and that's all I want to do. And somebody comes in, and his trouble because he walks right down an empty carriage to sit next to me. And then he gets the beer out and bangs it on the table. Then why did that beer sound so loud when he opened it? Anyway, he sat there drinking. I thought, oh, that's fine. I just started to relax, and he opened his mobile phone and started yelling into it. I don't mean he was angry. It was just loud. And I'm sitting there. I don't know what I had. I had empty carriage rage.
But it's the same if you sit on a bus, isn't it? The bus can be empty, and yet they always come and sit next to you, or in the seat in front, or just behind.
Well, the thing about buses in New York City is that they're always full, even across town in Manhattan. And my peeve, it's people who get on the bus. Aside from that, because that's just a given, you have to sign a form saying you accept all BO when you live in New York.
But on bus, and they pull out their cell phones and try to sound like they're just like the top CEO of the universe. And it's like, dude, you're on a bus, right? Turn the phone off and chill out. Yeah. Nobody cares. Turn it off.
If you were in your stretch Hummer, it would be different.
Yeah, right. Like, who are you trying? Like, we're all on the bus. Just chill out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Franz Charming, I want my fucking pants back, okay? I know you're out in the audience. I see you.
Who is that?
Those pants were expensive, damn it.
Who stole your pants?
I will give you my mailing address.
Is this a real life person that stole your pants?
I think what we will do is perhaps we could ask Rob just to focus in on the camera on Joja Dara, who is holding up a little sign for Stoker.
Oh.
Because Stoker went to Amsterdam and left his pants behind.
Oh.
And there appears to be some evidence.
Like everybody pointing at them.
That's funny how things get kind of twisted.
Well, why'd you leave your pants in Amsterdam?
Franz came to Tampa. Amsterdam came to me. We were having SLCC in Tampa, and I had to change quickly after Stroker's ball because these were leather motorcycle pants, and they're just as bad as latex. They use sweat like crazy.
You're supposed to powder up, aren't you, with baby powder? I saw that in the movie.
With latex. And with leather's fine, but it gets kind of like, it's like cottage cheesy, it's bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I changed into short pants, and Franz was innocent because it was Misty Rhodes who then absconded my pants and decided that she was going to send my pants on tour across Europe.
Oh my!
Starting with Franz and Amsterdam, but the pants never made it out of Amsterdam, did they, Franz? Did they?
What did Franz do with the pants?
Franz kept the pants because they fit Franz. They never made it from Amsterdam to London. Now, did they, Franz?
So right in the middle of this whole grumpy avatar thing, you had a flashback, and now you are asking Franz, who
now he's really grumpy. He did it on purpose.
Can we just park for a minute? I need my pants back, Franz.
Okay. Thank you. Or at least send them to somebody in the UK. Send them to Slimmy.
But they're on tour. They're on tour. Maybe they can make some.
Stroker, I'm going to be in Amsterdam later on this year in June, so I might just have to collect the pants.
And I think the red light district is shut down now. At
some point. I mean, I understand they're not going to be the same when I get them back. Okay.
Yeah, that's my next question. Do you really want them back?
Don't hold me responsible for what Franz has done with your pants in all this time.
Right, there's a proposal here to send the pants across the country and have them photographed with the person.
Well, that was the intention. And Franz did that.
Pants across America. Everybody take a picture of the pants and put it on the website and just send it across America. And then we'll put it in Madame Tussauds. So we'll have Stroker Serpentine's pants in Madame Tussauds, which is befitting.
In Vegas.
Yeah, yes.
The one in Vegas.
That would be great.
Bevan has come with a great idea. Stroker, you'll have to come to Meta Meets in June and pick up the pants yourself.
I think Bevan's onto something.
Just put them on display as an exhibition at the entrance.
We'll have it as a competition.
Well, they could be the flags.
Yeah, can you fit
with a flag?
Get in Stroker's pants? Right.
The Meta Meets symbol.
Be Stroker's pants.
I'm sorry.
Get into Stroker's pants.
We're having far too much fun. Back to being grumpy, you lot.
Yeah,
immediately.
Back to being bumpy. BO on buses. I hate it.
Oh, it's bad.
It's terrible.
Bad. It's bad when it's in your own car as well, and you suddenly realise it's you.
That could be hell.
Horrible, because you can't get away, can you?
Speaking of trains, okay, let me give you a glimpse into our American political. Well, it's just not really political. We don't do politics here, but we have the money to put a bullet train in from Tampa to Orlando, which is basically from the beaches to Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah.
And they've been wanting to put this bullet train in the middle of the highway, but there's just not enough people traveling back and forth, or at least that's the general consensus. Not enough people traveling back and forth between the beaches and Disney World to continually run and maintain this train. But they keep throwing up the European model that, mass transit is the way of the future. We've got to expand our cities. We can't, just be concentrated in lofts. And anyway, so I'm curious, are there successful trains that just go from point A to point B and back from point B to back to point A? Or do they have to traverse the countryside? Because I got to vote on this thing, and it makes me grumpy. Because
shuttles would do that.
And that's exactly they got buses running up and down the highway 24/7 between the beaches and Disney World. But I don't think it warrants a bullet train, does it?
No.
How far is it?
It's only 70 miles.
No, it doesn't. It wouldn't even
70,
get started.
miles.
It wouldn't get warmed up,
Yeah,
would it?
exactly. By the time I got warmed up,
by the time you sit down, you're there.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We have
trains are hard in the U.S. It's hard to get trains adopted. People want their cars. They want the freedom. They want that independence of being able to hop in and go whenever they want to.
I don't want a car. I've never had one. I don't even know how to drive, to tell you the truth. I'm serious. I'm 38 and I've never sat behind the wheel. I don't care to. I don't want to. It's a whole other part. It's a whole other rage circuit in New York.
Right.
It's really broken. It is out of control. And I'll wind up in jail. So there's no point.
When I was young, I had a motorbike, and that was it. I've never driven since.
Yeah,
it's really funny. In London here, we have the Underground, the subway system, and one of the lines on it is distinct because it's called the Circle Line. And it seems like a nice idea because it should be just a shuttle going round and round and round. But it's that Circle Line that, you'll be hard-pressed to ever find a train that actually goes all the way around the Circle Line in either direction. They tend to stop at places and make you change. But, constantly running systems that you can just hop on, hop off seems to be, that's the sort of transport we should have.
Well, it would be too simple to make it work on an infrastructure they've already got and don't have to do anything to. So they can only make a mess of it.
This is true. And we are talking about our government. Anyway.
All people make a mess of everything. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters whatever it is. Somebody always makes a mess.
What's been the general consensus of the new CEO from guests here?
I think he's made a mess of his desk. Sorry.
I got invited to a little meet and greet with some of the other folks, Bevan, and some of the other folks, NSL. I think that was a couple of weeks ago. And he seemed really nice. We basically all just got to say what we do in here, and he seemed really receptive. But what impresses me about him is, A, he comes from, EA, which has a different perspective on the avatar experience and the client experience than Linden Labs. And I think that will help, that background that he has, because he is used to, EA serves their clients because that's the revenue, that's the exchange. And they listen to actually what their players say. And I think he has that type of mentality. And if he holds on to that, I think it will go a long way with community relations here. And the other thing was when he first got here.
About EA.
Oh, you think so?
That they don't listen to their customers, and that they are a big, huge, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, and that you're.
And I bet they all have messy desks.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
With a load of bits of paper and
lolcats and lolcats in their keyboards.
Yeah, those weird things. I don't see why anybody finds those funny. I think they're really stupid. Those cats. Things.
Well, the other thing is then if you don't take that, then when he first got here, he really got in and he found a toga from somewhere, which is amazing, and he built something, which I thought was amazing because I've never seen a Linden come in here and like say I built this house. You never see that. A lot of times they don't get in and they don't embed themselves right away like that. So that kind of impressed me a little bit because I've never seen that before with CEO come in here and actually say, I was working on this weekend. What do you think? So it seems like he wants to understand all perspectives in here, which could, go a long way with things.
A lot of Lindens have done that, though. I mean, he's not the only Linden to have done it.
Oh, really? First one I've seen.
No. I think a lot of the Lindens they did. Yeah.
I think the
Lindens I know have made things, and they have done a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Philip was one of the original makers of things. The thing that kind of attracted me to him is that he is rather an unashamed noob, as we would call it. He seems willing to get excited and admit that, I didn't know you could do that here.
A sense of humility.
I didn't know I could do it, and etc. And I get that's a nice feeling to get,
And he didn't go running for like a sequin crotch. I still don't understand that. I don't understand the sequin crotch.
Yeah,
the crotch thing.
See about any merchandise.
Really annoyed me. It just goes against everything.
That was Philip's way of dealing with the swamp ass.
Just like, what is
I think it was a handbag.
You think it was a man? It was a man bag attached to the crotch.
So it was a handbag. No, I don't really want to say this, but there is, this little thing that you wear around your waist.
Fanny packs.
Fanny packs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because I really didn't want to say that.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
Especially in New York with the tourists, they love their fanny packs. There was this one guy, his fanny pack was so huge.
Oh.
It wasn't even like a fanny pack. It was just like a big-ass bag that he just had hanging off of his ass. Like, it just went way past the fanny pack thing. It was like a suitcase, like, with a belt. And
we love the New Yorkers that come down here and wear white socks under their sandals. That's a never-ending source of amusement for us Floridians.
Or trousers that are tucked into the socks.
Oh.
Really?
Which is really, that's just wrong.
That is wrong.
Is it?
Mal Burns and I sat through, and Joe Jadara sat through a lecture not so very long ago at the Tate Modern, where the interviewer, who was interviewing Philip Rosedale, sat for the entire interview swinging his leg with his pants tucked into his socks.
And that really bothered you, I guess. Yeah.
And it did. And it actually
the mark of the
distracted me.
cyclist?
The whole of the lecture, it distracted me.
Well, what's the problem?
Well,
It's a cyclist.
It's like Straker said, it's like socks with sandals. I mean, come on. What is the point? Why wear sandals if you're going to wear socks?
Well, that I don't disagree. Yeah, you're right. That's weird. That is
And
weird.
if you want to tuck your pants into your socks, why don't you just wear bloody tights?
Should be wearing pajamas and be lying in bed with a little.
Well, we have
teddy
pajama pants now. Did you guys hear about pajama
Together,
pants?
absolutely. You have my
Yeah.
book.
Fashion faux pas, really, isn't it?
Yes.
bear. I'll tell you what I hate. Is thongs.
Oh, yeah.
This from personal
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah.
Like-
Somebody made me, now wait for it, and don't ask me why. He didn't have a vested interest in me whatsoever, but for some reason I was doing something, and he came out with these presents, and he'd made us all Airtex leather thongs.
What?
Airtex, you know the thing, it's like material with holes in it, and people usually wear
So
them
you
in
can breathe? Mm.
Yeah. Where he'd done it as a leather thong.
Oh, my.
Okay. Was this a friend or just someone?
This was a
thong
friend of mine,
enthusiast?
but I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's has no desire for me whatsoever. So it really unnerved me that somebody was looking at me and thought, "I'll make her one of those."
I gotta make her a thong. I got to, and it's got to be air tagged and leather.
Yeah, so she can breathe more easily.
That is a very strange present to
I
get.
don't understand that at all.
I mean, I disagree.
I asked him why, because I did have to ask. Yeah, a breathable thong, Lisa. And I did have to ask, and he said it's so you know you've got a little secret.
Okay. He needs to work that out. That sounds like some sort
He
of
needs to work
fetish.
that out with a therapist, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
What's that about? I
don't know, but it worked, you know.
Mm.
You go up to interview people or whatever, and you're feeling a bit nervous, and you've got on your breathable leather thong, and you think, I can do anything.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
my.
So did you ever unpack them and...
You will
Wow.
never know, Malburn's writing.
Oh, you're just talking so scientifically. That's all I was.
You will never know. You will
That's
have
so
to wonder,
strange.
because I have a little mystery.
Yes.
Well, I actually have a grumpy. It's fashion related, of course. I really want the grid and all of you people on the grid to stop using those really old poses for vendor pictures or for anything. I can't take it. We have a plethora of wonderful pose makers that make current normal looking poses, and there's no excuse, and I can't take it. And I'll
What
watch
sort
the
of
fashion.
old poses? Sorry, I'm just hurriedly looking for my inventory where it says,
Just delete
it doesn't
them.
say object, it says really bloody old pose.
Just delete them. Get rid of
You
them.
mean
They
old
should actually be
old
pulled.
poses, don't you?
They should be pulled from the Linden.
What, a
should just
static
pull.
pose, you mean?
Yeah, some pretty awful ones.
But you have to pretend you're moving, but you're not really.
The old static poses where you're just twisted in very abnormal ways. Your avatar.
And it's usually the feet that are twisted, isn't it? So
yeah.
It looks like your ankle's dislocated.
Right. And I feel bad because they're, newbies come in, they don't know any better. But it's like they just really need to be pulled off the grid. Like if I was a Linden, I'd probably be called Fashion Linden or something. Clothes Monitor Linden. I would just pull them from everybody's inventory and just be done.
The thing is those nudes are probably spent $1,000. Sorry,
Danny. I was going to ask the audience who's got an old pose they'd like to show us. Who is an old poser in our audience? Get it out and put it on, and let's have a look.
Come on, Casey. I know you got some old poses.
I've got loads of old poses, but I was going to say the nudes are probably feeling a bit chuffed about the fact that they've got some poses because they found X Street Market. And they probably spent 1,000 Lindens on all these shitty old poses that selling off.
I bought a hut yesterday with a load of poses in it, you meant to be able to combine them and everything else like that. And I thought I had it, but I couldn't find it, so I bought it again. That thing doesn't work. I kept pressing buttons, nothing happens. I wonder if the scripts are too old for the new Second Life or something.
Well, going to your object profile, anything that's like 2008, just throw it away. It's not going to serve you. Just throw it.
No, I cannot throw anything in my inventory away. Sorry, just don't ask me to do that. You never know. I might need it in the future.
Might need what?
I kind of bought
always the
helmet here.
Museums. There's content burn. We should have a content burn.
Yes.
A big giant. We did that once.
No, we can't do that.
Big giant burning content man in the middle.
I'd be lost without my objects.
All of their 2,000.
What do you have in there that you're holding on to that you won't get rid of?
It's called object. I don't know what the object is. It might be
3 million of them.
Anyway, it destroys everything. I believe.
I've got something here called Lay 21 ball up front on the belly.
Yeah.
That you got a res.
I have actually got one here.
Oh my god!
I'm quite sure what that means.
Wow, I'm scared.
Is that the pose, darling?
No. Slim, no, not that one.
No, I'm finding this one now, but
I see Slimmy has stood up, so we're in for a demonstration. I take it.
Are you in for a demonstration? All right.
This we've got
this one. Oh, hang on, wait. I hope it works over the AO. Oh, hang on. I'll see if I can show it. Honestly, I'm a serious collector of everything. I don't chuck anything away. My inventory is so full of crap, it's unbelievable.
No,
she
you
has
have
a copy of her SL Virginity in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's hidden secretly. And it's so old, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Kind of mainly balls, I think.
Yeah, the scripts are probably
pose test. Let's have a look at that.
Oh
my. This inevitably is going to happen.
That's what you're talking about, isn't it?
Oh, yes. This is the cleaning pose. I know this pose.
The cleaning pose?
But all the poses were static.
No, I just saw the leg go up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the cleaning pose.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Sorry. We all know the cleaning pose.
I don't feel like I should be cleaning in this position.
You look kind of dead. Like, yeah.
How about that? That one. I'm turning up the blue ball as well, which is not what it says. I'm assuming that somebody else is supposed to get on it.
I've got this one. I mean,
slam!
It's not an old one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will just drop in a word here for those watching it on the TV who don't understand what on earth is going on here. But we're filming a Second Life, and the way you pose and animate yourself in Second Life is a matter of stepping on balls and sort of activating animations. And this is what our guests are attempting to do for you now. So,
well, I want to see Stroker's updated because I know, if you're going to get back into it and start making some stuff, Stroker, I want to see what you're doing.
But
Yeah,
all the poses were
I'm
static
excited.
to begin with, weren't they? They didn't have any
There were
movement.
only, I think there were only like 14 original poses.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I mean, thank God for mocap.
Yeah, well, thank God for allowing us to import BBHs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I hope they extend them. That's one of the things that we're going to petition Mr. Rod to do, is to extend the file size of the animations so that
That would be helpful.
your dances aren't looping every 30 seconds. You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, 2 minutes or something would be.
Yeah, Casey Kinsella, she's been around a while. She knows there weren't a lot of static poses, but it's amazing. You got to get out, and I encourage everybody in this audience sitting here, and everybody within earshot, get out and look at Second Life again. Take an alt out, take an alt out, take your main out. It doesn't matter. Get out and just plop around to the clubs. You'd be surprised how innovative people are being with their avatars and their builds now. It's
amazing, and it's constant, like you said. And
it's a constant state of flux. And I mean, and you mourn because this club or this hangout.
No, everybody dance like this.
No, get rid of that.
Every single person
That
dance
is
like this is
disgusting.
disgusting.
You are to delete that. I will never speak to you again.
There are some wonderful animations around too, because I mean, what some people do, I believe, is they they chain the animations together. So instead of 30 seconds, you get the long.
Well, I've been building lately because I want to start building, and I want to start a line of, because I'm really into home and garden, which has totally blown up in Second Life. I don't know if any of you know, but the home and garden sector community in Second Life is brilliant, and it's just beautiful stuff and architecture, and now I'm like all addicted to real life architecture, and I'm just all in it. And having to build a couch from scratch, I really give it to the builders, because there are things that you don't think about when you go and you plop down on a couch, and now I have to, because I'm making them. So it's like I had to go buy full perm animations, and I have to make sure that they fit right, and then you have to put them in this sitter thing, and it's really a lot of work that goes into it before you even decide on how you want to design the couch,
much less sell it and then support it.
And get your branding done, and there are a lot of skills that you learn in Second Life that you can totally transfer outside, especially when it comes to branding. And there are people who have really mastered it here in SL, and they can use they can use that skill outside of here. And a lot of people don't know that they can. They think that they can just do that here, but you can do it outside. Same skills.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of what is a prototyping platform, really. You can fiddle around in here so you get it right, then apply it to the real world.
But in some ways, don't you think that you're denying people the pleasure of finding out just how shit their poses are when they go to a store eventually and find out much better ones, as we all do? I mean, don't you think that we're spoiling the fun? Because that's what keeps me amused, is watching everybody with the really shit poses going, I know where you can get better ones.
Yep. And that's the beauty of Second Life,
isn't it?
I love telling people where to get new stuff that I think would blow their mind just from an artistic standpoint, because somebody out there made it and they put time into it. And if it's new and if it's innovative, then it's like, I'll drop the landmark. Go check it out. Like Storker said, there's just so many things in here that you can just still be awed by. And they're 2011, they're 2012 things, visions that real life people and business owners will probably look at. So, there's some real smart creative folk in here.
I think for those who started early on, it's been easier to keep an eye on the developments, whereas I think and see what is changing and see who is bringing in new things.
Because you have a history.
Yeah, because you know how it was in the beginning, and I think also if you're a product designer, then you can aim your market at better because you know it much better, because Second Life wasn't so big. But if you come in as a new person, certainly within the last year to 6 months to the last year, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
And I have to say that it would actually do my head coming into Second Life now, because I don't think I could cope.
Well, it's totally oversaturated just from the builder and the fashion standpoint, and there's a lot of templates out there, and it's easy to slap something together, but if looking good is a totally different thing. But I'm finding two things happening. I'm finding that the younger folks that come in, they have much more to work with than the folks who started out. I'm finding out that some older folks are having problems with the transition between, what their branding was like, when they first came in, and now they have to deal with all these youngins, quote unquote, who are coming in, and they have virtual ADD, and the market is totally saturated. And how do I get them to come to my shop? When there's like 400 other shops like on the same side of the grid.
4,000 other shops.
Yeah, and so it's a lot of the older. I've spoken to older fashion designers, and they're trying to figure out they're scratching their heads and trying to figure out how to keep it going. When they used to actually live off of what they made here in SL, and now that everything is just so much out there, they don't know. They get frustrated because they don't think they can keep up in the long run.
So what do we want to have SLCC this year? Oh, sorry, Mal. Didn't mean to step on you.
I was just going to say, can you imagine what it's going to be like if the grid suddenly starts getting a huge influx of users and, getting more creators pro rata? I mean,
well, I think they're better equipped to handle that kind of an influx now than they were in 2006. 2006, you could still crash Sims. It's very difficult to even crash a region now.
Do any of you ever wonder whether it's reached its limit of creativity, people's creativity, using Second Life, as it stands with the tools that everybody has now?
I don't think so.
People's attention spans may change. I mean, we live in such a fast-paced society today that we have to take it in doses. You get tired of it real quick, and then you have to go back and look at it with fresh eyes. And it's like anything; it's not just Second Life. It's it's our daily grinds. But I think that SL will never ever see its full fruition because it's continually changing, and it is in our best interest to stick around long enough to see what the changes are going to be. Mesh. I mean, look at Windlight. Everybody hated voice. Everybody hated Windlight. You hear, it's just more lag, more. Well,
we can't live without it now.
Well, Second Life is a whole bunch of old grumpies, isn't it? I mean, that's what happens.
I never even used Windlight.
Glass half empty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Windlight is a part of my daily life.
Yeah. I mean, having the access to all of your shaders right there at your fingertips. It's like,
but nobody else can see it except you.
But it's your experience. It's really. I mean, Second Life is a very selfish platform. It's your experience.
So I think there's a way you can actually set the Windlight settings to a region, so other people do see your Windlight settings now.
There is somebody who has developed that. I will take that back. There is somebody, and I'll remember his name in a second. Leonard Denver. He has got something which, if you wear a HUD, it allows you to see somebody else's Windlight settings. So, sorry for that. But, well, perhaps because I use Second Life slightly differently. I don't take photographs, really, or if I do, it's usually of feet, or if my face is missing, or the rest of my body is missing, or I'm stuck in some sort of prim upside down with my legs in the air.
Okay.
This is it.
Your story is sticking to it.
So I don't really need Windlight for any of that at all.
I've got copies of the pictures.
Oh, that's my other grumpy thing is face lights. Can we kill the face lights, people? Just kill them. They're not.
Yeah, but then we can't see where we're going if it's dark.
They're quite useful for filming sometimes.
Yeah, but what happens? You see, they might have their Windlight settings to midnight. Let's not see anything. They might be playing dating in the dark. You never know.
It's just wearing 20 face lights and just lighting up the whole sim is just unnecessary. Where maybe if you need it, just wear one. I mean, sometimes you go shopping and you see someone and you can feel them coming. The virtual heat of the face lights, and then when you stand next to you, you're like, when did it become like bright and sunny all of a sudden? And you realize it's a person standing next to you, and I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish with that, because you can just change the settings instead of attaching face lights. That's my other gripe.
So where are we having SLCC this year?
Somewhere with a beach.
Amsterdam.
I don't think it's been decided yet. I don't know.
I think that it would be a great year to bring back Stroker's Ball. Now that our litigation with
now you're feeling a bit more cheerful.
Yeah.
I've never. Now, what does that entail exactly? Stroker's ball.
SLCC or Stroker's
No,
ball?
Stroker's ball.
Oh, it's just a fetish ball, just a masquerade ball that we do during Second Life, or during Second Life Community Convention, or have done in the past. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
We did it in Tampa, we did it in Chicago, and we did it in San
Oh,
Francisco.
then you have to bring it to Amsterdam in June. Sorry. I don't know what happened just then.
These are the conventions,
Somebody
great,
ejected
aren't
me
they,
out
when-
of the call. So,
Right, but that's MetaMeets. That's not SLCC. It's different.
Yeah, very different thing.
Yeah, it's got to be the
you can
community.
still have a ball. Or
You can
balls.
still
It's
have a
nice
ball. Yes, you
to
can.
set up
You can have a
real
ball
life.
anytime you want, anywhere you want.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes, you can have a ball in your bathtub.
Oh, that's it. See, we're going to hold Stroker to ransom. If you don't come to Amsterdam and have a ball, we're going to keep your pants.
Yes, I've been seeing the pictures. I've actually.
Well,
There's a
actually,
Facebook page now.
Oh, you have this Facebook page for your pants.
Fantastic.
Stroker's Pants Facebook page. Like my
Great.
pants.
Fantastic. Only in Second
That's
Life.
Well,
hilarious.
if we auction them, it might pay for the whole of MetaMeets.
Hey, you know what? I doubt that, but it might pay for a hotel room for a week, maybe. Actually, I've lost 25 pounds. They may not even fit anymore.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
But hey,
Well, that's the worst thing about Second Life.
I
Putting on weight.
exactly. There's
Second
something.
Life ass, as I call it.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I want somebody out there, if anybody's listening, this is a really good idea. What I would like you to do is develop a program for an avatar whereby you can you can put into the program what food you've eaten that day, and your avatar swells to the size of the calories.
there was
SL Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a cinema
Weight
still
Watchers.
where you could actually check the calories of everything you saw around you, and you
I'd
know.
have to throw out my whole inventory. Nothing would fit.
Oh dear, oh dear. Tell me, this is a bit of a
yourself every day.
sideline, but Stoker, what do you think are the future of things like Wii interfacing? You know, you're talking about losing
Wii
weight.
and,
You know, you
Kinect.
get all this, these people, you know, clocking into console things. You know, where they're you know, using Kinect and Wii controls and stuff to actually physically interact with the virtual world.
I think it'll be great for some games. Actually, I just got some information on some people that are recording BBH animations using Kinect now. But it'll be great for running like macros in a game. The quality of the interface obviously has to be reasonable. I mean, it's not going to, reasonably cost effective for an average consumer, so it's not going to be high quality stuff, but it can be fun. But what I really want to see and hopefully have a part in developing is adapting that technology to a facial structure as opposed to a whole skeletal structure, so that you can, you can see annotation, you can see facial gestures, or through a mapping of the brows or the lips or the cheeks,
Yeah.
and things like that through a webcam. I think that would be a lot more, or even a portable device camera. I think that would be a lot more effective in terms of a digital communication tool than trying to bowl or play badminton or something in your office.
I love the idea that you can buy a skin layer or something which would be mapped to a webcam.
Yes, exactly.
So it wouldn't depend on the avatar, the skin itself.
That can be morphed on the fly,
Yeah.
That, and I think that's where the technology is going to eventually go. We had max headroom in the 80s, right? And eventually we will all have some type of a digital repository, avatar, representative, surrogate, whatever you want to call it, because we can't be everywhere at once in the digital age.
That's right. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
You know, I often do. I was going to say this a minute ago, actually, but I often describe, our online life. You know, in the days of Facebook, all this stuff. You know, it's too fast, too much, too quick, and you need to chill out now and again. And I often refer to places like Second Life as a place to slow down for a while.
Yes. Yep.
You can still interact, you can still meet your friends.
You can park. You can actually park here.
You can be civilized again, you know.
Yes.
And you can, like Deuce's suggestion that we had this SL diet thing, is a reflection on the amount of calories that you can intake. It's reflected by your avatar, because mine seems to have grown rather a lot in the last few minutes due to the fact that I did eat rather a lot of cake today. So I think that's a very depressing thought, and it would make me really grumpy. Having to do any sort of dieting whatsoever.
I might join you with that.
Well, your shoes still fit, so that's good.
Yes, they do. Yeah. That's all right, because my feet are set to 0, and there's nothing I can do about that right now.
Yeah.
It's all squished into the upper half. But do you think that ultimately, with all this technology, using virtual worlds and all the information that we're seeing and all the visual information that we're processing every day, looking at everything and interacting with everything, that actually, our brains won't be able to cope so much with it, because it does become very tiring.
We have natural filters for that. We have we've got our mail accounts, we've got our virtual world accounts, we've got our blogs. we process only what we can handle, what we find interesting. But do we, though? Because there is an overload of information if you think about all the things that most of us are doing, because we all use social media, we all use Second Life, we probably use other virtual platforms as well, we probably have other projects going on that have got nothing to do with virtual life whatsoever, and then we've got our family lives and our personal lives as well. That's why you have grass.
And yeah, send me some. I think I might need it. But at the same time, don't you think that ultimately it's not necessarily good for our brains having all of this information? What are we actually doing with the information that we see and process every day?
And how much are we actually storing and manipulating?
We were doing that before. We were doing that before.
My cake. I'm definitely storing the cake that I ate.
Well, I have got a real body image problem here, because I have put on a certain avatar, right? Now, on my screen, I look exactly the same as when I started this program.
Your boobs.
However, I've just checked the live stream, and on my screen, right, I've checked the live stream, and no, I don't look exactly the same. However, my body image in here, my body image in here is exactly the same as when I started. So I think there's some psychological split going on here.
Well, there is, because if you look at most human avatars,
it's something really disturbing about virtual worlds, because you come in and you look one way to yourself and everybody else says you look different. Or more importantly, you look really bad to yourself and everybody says, oh, you're fine. And you just don't, there's an element of trust involved here, do I really? You sure? Because I'm naked.
But would you feel comfortable having that very large avatar all the time?
I have a large one. I pull out once in a while. But
really?
Yeah. The privacy of my own.
This is impressive.
Yeah, it has the 100 hip slider.
I don't know.
Okay.
100. But
well, I don't want to be grumpy, folks. But we've only got about 5 minutes to go before the on-air bit of our show expires. It's amazing how 1 hour goes.
Is this where the audience gets naked?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, it is. They haven't told us.
TV out now, folks, if you don't want to take your kid off.
Uh-oh.
Well, we'll get Stroker to res a load of things for you to enjoy.
Ooh.
I'm wondering how long it'll be before Stroker takes over the Xbox. And
I'm waiting to see there's some new products coming out from Stroker that he doesn't have to worry about.
We're excited about. We didn't even know if we were going to still be on the grid. We just didn't know what was going to happen with the lab, and they've been through 3 CEOs in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so in terms of an investment of time and energy, it was questionable. So we're excited to have that solidified now, and we're anxious to share some of the stuff that we've been working on for the last year or so in California with the SL residents.
Actually, when you first announced that wonderful news, Stoker, I feared you were going to say that you've come to an agreement with Second Life and it was going to involve promotion, and I have vision into Second Life's homepage.
All your pixels belong to me now.
Obligation bills. What is Second Life? Anyway, we've come to the part of the show where with just a few minutes to go, I'd like to go to each of our special guests of the day in sequence, so to speak, and just ask you, and it will have to be very brief tonight, what has personally been making you grumpy this week? Now, it can be real life, it can be virtual life, it can be online life, it can be the other side of the universe for all I care. So let's start with Angie. What's been making you personally grumpy this week?
The random instability of things and how it really jacks up, my work time in here. Like, for instance, yesterday I spent an hour trying to use one viewer that would not crash me. And I've been using Cursons for a while, and Cursons is great. I'm using it right now, but all of a sudden it just started being really unstable for me, and it'll go back and forth, and then I'll go back to the SL viewer, and that'll work for a minute, and then that'll be unstable, and it just really makes me grumpy that you log in with a certain purpose. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do this, and this, and you spend all your time, cursing at the screen because you can't stay on or something's wrong. Yesterday my hair textures were all messed up, and I can't have that. That was crazy, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I sympathize. I mean, my opinion is there's almost too many viewers around now because, I'm very wary of swapping viewers because they rebuild the database every time. So, if you go in with the one you weren't in the last time round, you've got to change everything.
You've got, no underwear on. And I don't like going back and forth between the 1 and the 2, 1.0 and 2.0 because that's where you come into a lot of issues.
Yeah, totally different database. So, yeah. Okay, Stoker, same question. What's been bugging you this week?
I want to know how come they can't get the formulation of wet wipes right. They're either too dry,
no, you're right,
or they're too wet, okay? And everybody seems to have these newfangled types of boxes that have these little push button things that pop them up,
Huggies.
Have to keep it. Yeah, what's up with that?
And then you can't get the wipes out of the boxes.
Exactly. And then they go down in between that little, and I don't know what's down there. I'm putting my fingers down between that little piece of ripply latex, whatever it is, to hopefully snag the last one.
And you pull out 15 in one go.
Yeah.
Pull your skin
and then
off.
you pull it out, and they're like soapy, It's like I don't want it to be soapy.
There's no control. There's no liquid control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
totally
what's
feel
really been chapping my ass this week is
literally you can't use your Huggies.
I'm reminded of Slimmy's note last week, which was about those incredibly hard plastic containers that you can never get anything out of. And
God!
But I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
If these are moist products, do they come in heavily sealed containers?
Mine does.
Huggies.
Yeah.
I use Huggy wipes actually. And they come in plastic. You just take the plastic off.
Yeah, you just got to take the plastic off.
Okay. Well, these things are brought to triers, aren't they? Mumble grumble.
Yes.
Okay, so we better really round up now. So quickly, over to Dooza. Anything else you want to be grumpy about tonight, Dooza?
Customer service. Customer service all over the UK. And throw in BT Online for that as well.
Of course.
So that's all I'm going to say. Because it takes far
too
long.
Expression customer service had been removed from the English Oxford Dictionary now.
Yeah, it's an oxymoron.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not fitting for the 21st century.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to give the last word to Slimmy, who will probably tell us about our blog and Twitter stream and everything else too, won't you, Slimmy?
Yes, I will do that. First, my grumpiness this week is again directed to the phone company, who shall remain nameless, but it isn't BT because I'm not in England anymore. It is when you phone up and you get the automated system, it says, please press in your account number. So you spent 15 minutes trying to find account number and pressing it in on the keypad. After another 20 minutes of listening to some piped shit music, the operator answers and goes, "Hi, could I have your account number, please?"
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? I just put it in.
I just gave it to you.
It's so annoying. That's really annoyed me this week. However, if you would like to follow us on Twitter, please follow at Grumpy Old Avatar. And we do have a blogspot, which is blogspot.com, Grumpy Old Avatars. You can catch the show live every Friday from 3 p.m. Second Life time on Metaverse TV. There is a link somewhere. And of course, feel free to join us in the studio each Friday because we love having an audience.
Great, Slimmy. It's funny, when you were saying that a minute ago, I was reminded that yesterday I had to actually log into another grid. And even though all my login information was supposedly saved, I couldn't get in. And I finally hit the button that said, forgotten your password. And it opened a website. And in order to find out my password, it wanted my password. So, about an hour before I was able to get back to that grid. And
I would have punched the screen.
That is it for this week, folks. Otherwise, I'm going to get cut off mid-speed, so to speak, because we're running out of an hour.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah, the union's going to pull the plug.
Yeah. So, it's with, we will be back same time, same place next week, and it's grateful thanks to my two co-hosts. Thank you, Duzo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simi.
Thanks.
Let's see, they're getting all that grumpy tone.
They're sunken into the couch.
They don't want to leave you. But anyway, it's also extra special thanks to our two wonderful guests, Angie Mornington. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
And Stroker Serpentine. Absolutely
And
great.
my pants.
Great news from your company or whatever, and great to see you. Thanks a lot. And where? I'm just. I seem to have lost my cane. How am I going to stand up?
Your legs are really skinny. I just noticed that. And your shoes are huge. Mal, what's going on?
He's getting older as we sit here.